Hello, everyone, and welcome to the void between reality and the land of heckin' nerds. My name is Brian, aka He the Void, and today we are taking a look at the 5-2 Toys Beast Box Wandering Star. This is another one of the Beast Box figures from 5-2 Toys, as you know, I just said. Like Haran, which I have right here for a reason you will see later. And I really loved Haran. Despite its flaws, I think it's a very interesting figure. And this is a very interesting figure. I think the Beast Box concept as a whole is cool because it's something different. It's different from robot that turns into animal and or vehicle. And the gimmick of which I will show in a minute, of being able to stack the boxes on top of each other and create towers, I think is a great gimmick, and it's a way to get hooked on these figures because you will want to build towers of these things. I just have some problems with this figure, some design problems, and then something I'll get into later. I did have a break with this figure. So as you can see, and I will just do a quick comparison with Haran here, just so you can get a size of scale. This guy is significantly smaller than your other Beast Boxes. He cost a bit less too than Haran. So yeah, he is relatively small, and I don't mind that, except for one thing we will get into later. So yeah, it's a cube. He do be Cuban. He is a cube is him. And I do really like this cube. It's a cool cube. My biggest problem is one of the problems I had with Haran. This thing pops ball joints like crazy, which we'll probably see as we get into transformation. But before we go into transformation, here is the card that came with the figure. He's got stats. He's got 1200 attack, 1200 defense, and his speed is 1500, so he has speedy boy. I don't know what EP stands for, but he has 1800 of those things. Unfortunately, his bio does not go as hard as Haran's did, but it is a neat little bio. Breaking free of all the boundary, or from all boundary and taboo, eyes wander, heart expand, the joy of all senses reaches its peak, and indeed, this is pure delight, which I love. I really like that bio. But we'll go ahead and get into transformation. And the problems with this figure will materialize as we are transforming him. Let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room first, the break. As you can probably see from these marks here, there were 2 tabs that were supposed to go into his head to stabilize this against the body. Those 2 tabs broke within a day or 2. I forget how quickly they broke, but they did break. Now, it's not a game ender. He still can transform, but this is a little loose and it gets harder to get him into his box form. So first things first, we are going to bring out the head, turn it around, and then we're going to bring this down, and that will snap into place. Next thing we're going to do is push the back feet out, and then we're going to unpeg these panels, and they will, almost everything flies off of this figure, which is my big problem with the figure. So you're supposed to rotate the tail, right? There's the problem with the tail. This tail will come out at a moment's notice. It is not one solid piece. I wish it was. And honestly, it's a little easier to just take off the tail. My other problem with the tail is you're supposed to completely close the tail. Getting these 2 halves untabbed is a nightmare. So I prefer to leave them separated like that. So we'll just put that to the side, and we'll just push up that peg, or that section, and push up that section as well. So, and then we'll put the tail back on. We'll unpeg these two blue sections and they'll just rest on the sides of the tail. Here is another one of the areas that I have a concern about. These are clear plastic, including the ball joint. Clear or translucent plastic, especially when you make hinges, joints, anything out of them, do have a tendency to break. I am a little bit concerned for the longevity of this figure, especially the fact that I've already broken it. So you're just going to take this, and there's a little double hinge here, and you're going to push that down, and that will snap into place on the two pegs here, two holes there. Then you're going to take his leg, fold out his leg, and flip out the paw. These will pop out just like that. They will pop ball joints. Unfortunately, a lot of this guy's ball joints do have the tendency to pop. So we will straighten out the little foot, or little leg, put out the paw, come to the back, just fold these pegs down, or these feet down, and push the leg back. And we'll stand him. And then the last thing is we take his little gill thingies, and just put them up like that. And yeah, there you go. He is an axolotl. And that's really the reason I bought this figure, is because he's an axolotl. And do you ever see axolotl transforming figures? No. Do you ever see anglerfish transforming figures? No. Do you see hammerhead shark transforming figures? Do you see pterodactyl, spider, dog? I mean, you do see some dog. Power loaders. Do you see a lot of those in transforming toys? No. That's why I like 5.2 Toys' offerings with the Beast Box and the Beast Drive figures. Because they're different. They're doing something new. And believe it or not, this is a fairly young company. They came out in 2015, and this is a company that is doing something different, which is honestly what I want to see. I want to see different toys. I want to see toys that do something that other figures aren't doing, or of a representation of an animal or a robot that we don't see often. Which is why I like 5.2 Toys, and which is why I will be buying a number of these other figures. My big problem with this figure in particular, like I said, is just some of the decisions with the design and the ball joints. That was my problem with Haran, was the ball joints. 5.2 Toys, if you're watching this, I don't know what you can do or what materials you have available, because every toy company has different things available to them. Please work on your ball joints. That is my big knock on the Beast Box figures I have thus far. I don't know if any other of them have this problem. But just work on your ball joints a little more. Maybe a little less translucent plastic on guys like this. Maybe strengthen up some pegs. That's my big knock, or my knocks. But I am not saying this because I hate these toys. I'm saying this because I like these toys, and I want these toys to get better, and I want them to continue to make really, really cool toys. So 5.2 Toys, if you're watching this, please know, 1, I would love to work with you guys. 2, my criticisms come from love, because I really want to see you guys continue to succeed. So we're going to go ahead and get him back into cube mode, and then we'll show you one of my other problems, as well as the gimmick of stacking. So first things first, we're just going to fold his little antenna looking thingies down, and there is a peg here, peg hole there. Then we are going to disconnect him, or the neck, from this little panel. We're going to fold out that panel. We're going to turn his head and then fold it in. And this is where it would peg in, but like I said, unfortunately, mine did have a break. So we're going to unpeg now these sections. We're going to take the front legs, and we're going to turn the pawl around. We're going to pop the ball joint. This unfortunately happens a lot. Straighten it, and then just fold it in so it kind of forms an L. And then we're going to take this piece, and it will hinge up, and the two pegs here will go into one of the two pegs will go into that hole there and snap into place. And we will do the same. Oh, come on. I'm so paranoid of breaking this thing. We'll unpeg it, turn the paw around, fold this into that L shape, and then just hinge it up and peg it in like that. Next, we're just going to get these feet out of the way. I'm going to take these two blue panels, and they're going to peg in. Actually, I put the legs in the wrong way. And those will peg in as such. Then we'll get the feet up out of the way, or the legs up, back legs out of the way. There we go. And we come to the tail. Again, this is where the figure kind of falls apart. So we'll fold in the tail, and the tail will invariably pop off. We will also unpeg the tail pieces like that. So usually I just take off the tail, fold in the two bits where they were connecting. You want to make sure that the silver bit is out in front. And then you'll come in and peg in the tail, and it will rest right in here. Come on. There you go. And then these have little pegs. I don't know how well you can see them, and those will peg in on the sides. Like so. And then you can put the feet in. And there you have him back in cube mode. So, next, we're going to do the combining gimmick. Now, here's another problem I have with this particular figure. This is a miniature figure, so they make smaller Beast Box figures. So, in order to go into a box, they come, or a box charger, which is what Haron's in, they come with this. It's this little bracket that you fold up like that. And then you go to the back. You want to make sure this section is pointing down, and you'll just slide him in. Sometimes it is a little difficult to get him to fully slide in. And then you would put him in his box. My one problem is that this figure does not come with a box charger. I had to purchase a box charger from Amazon, and these were this was about $10. So I got this on sale on AliExpress for about $16. I think he's about $18 normally. So you have to figure in that if you want him to do the gimmick of the Beast Boxes stacking on each other, you do have to factor in the price of another box charger, which you can just open and then slide him in. Make sure this little ridged panel or part is facing, or is at the top and facing forward. And you can snap him into his box. And then we can bring in Haron or whatever other beast box figure you have. And there's several ways they can connect. You'll see these little tabs on the bottom of the boxes. And you can tab them into the front because there's little pegs here. And you can have a tower. Or these little side pieces do slot together. So you can stack them all together. And this is where I think the toys shine in this gimmick of stacking them together. Because normally with things like Transformers, you would generally store or display them in their robot mode. These don't have robot modes, they have beast modes, but you're really compelled to put these in their box chargers, so to keep them in box mode so that you can stack them. And I've seen people build like shelves like this big back here, like that, this big and this wide. I've seen people make towers out of these, or put whole beast box towers in there, and it's really cool. And I think that's where the toys shine, in that sort of compatibility and stackability. So, do I suggest Wandering Star? Yes and no. He does have 2 repaints. I forget what their names are, but one's pink and then one's orange. But they both have the translucent plastic problems. If you really love this design and you can get it on sale, go ahead. Just be very careful with it if you do, so you can avoid breakages. That is really my my main complaints with the figure. So yeah, 52 Toys, please do reach out if you would ever like to do a collab together. I would love to work with you guys. I would love to show off your toys. You know, if you want to help a relatively new toy reviewer out, I would be eternally thankful to you guys if you did decide to partner with me. My business email is in my links. Speaking of, I am asking you to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the aforementioned links in the description for all the places you can find me and support me. And until next time, remember, growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. Be curious, be playful, and above all else, be kind. And I'll see you next time.